Hi, good morning, good evening, as per your time zone. I'm Kumkum Sharma from Bridge, and I'm back again on live open session episode 58. On the behalf of entire Bridge team, I would like to welcome you here, and let me just quickly share the agenda and the format for this program. So format is very easy. Whatever you want to ask, you can put your questions in the comment box. I'll add your questions and Saket will answer your questions. In agenda is also very easy. Whatever you want to ask regarding your career growth, feel free to ask. Right training, right certification, what could be the path for your success? Anything. So we have to wait for some time. I think people will join and they'll ask questions. So let me just welcome Mr. Saket Bansal. Thank you, Saket, joining me again on this session.
Thank you. Yeah.
So, how would you like to start this session before people asking questions?
So we see this happening because it takes little time for a YouTube to push the content. So hello Rashmi and welcome to the session. And after that, people get notified. So it takes little time. So if you are watching on LinkedIn, if you are watching on YouTube, anything which you have in mind related to our training certification programs, Agile, Project Management, Scaled Agile, Kanban, Agile coaching, enterprise Agile coaching, ICF coaching, Scrum Master, Advanced Scrum Master, so those kind of stuff. Yeah, if you have any query which can help you in making right decision or investing in your training or learning opportunity or time, so that kind of questions you can ask. Yeah, so that's something we are focusing on. So we have an interesting question. How does next future trend looks like for a Scrum Master? Uh, uh, okay, so this is little difficult because future is unknown. Everybody, your guess, my guess, it's a guessing game. What I can see, but I have been talking to the people as well as organizations, and what I see is that the little bit multi-skilling is coming in a Scrum Master job. So pure Scrum Master job dedicated to one team is becoming less and less common. It was not that like that 1 or 1.5 years ago. People used to get full-time Scrum Master, one Agile team positions. But now I see either if you are working in a projectized environment, then Scrum Master and project management jobs get pretty mixed up. People who share their profile, who are preparing for interviews, I see that kind of mixture coming in. People who are working in a non-projectized environment, then you have a situation where either you work with more than one Scrum team, or you end up working with Scrum Master and some amount of assistance to product owner, business analysis. Maybe you will not be a product owner, but you assist product owner more actively in order to elaborate the requirement and explain the requirement to the team. So you can say Scrum Master plus assistant product owner. That's one thing. There is also a trend in a early stage Agile adoption team where they have team members, and some of the team members are good in coordination and facilitation. They tend to give the Scrum Master responsibilities to that particular team member as well. So I would say focus on the skills and competency, the domain you can work in, how can you help the value generation. Knowing Scrum is a basic requirement now. Knowing Scrum may not help us in getting the job alone, but we need to focus on how do we facilitate value delivery. And if we can help that, maybe title could be anything, but that help us in achieving the value delivery. So adding more skills rather than just Scrum skills is something important. Facilitation, project management, product management, or doing business analysis. These are the common skills which we see. Okay, so we take it next. So the thing is, how I would like to ask, what is the best path for career progression for an RT looking to grow to become a vice president, director? So what I personally feel is the paths are pretty well defined till the time you are going till a middle management level. After middle management level, it's all gray. There is in my perspective, I could be you may have a path defined there, But since the pyramid becomes coned, yeah, so not everybody goes to the next level, and it's difficult for maybe out of 20-30 people, one person only go to the next level. So if I have 100 middle manager, maybe out of 100 middle manager, 3-4 will become senior manager and one will become super senior at some point in time, and others has to retire at a manager only. So we need to see what can take us there, because it's a complicated path. What I see is that in general, the leadership skills, people handling skills, networking skills, influential skills plays a role in that kind of environment. Now, if you are an expert contributor, then you have your own individual contribution level. But if you want to grow as a leader, then it's a pure soft skills, networking skills, those kind of things probably help you. Now, can I have a certificate to become a director? Probably nobody hires until unless it's a compliance rule. You may have some certified director and other things just for a compliance purpose, but it's difficult to hire a leader because the person is certified or having some degree or education alone. So your experience plays a role. How do you show a value delivery in your current program? If you are handling a great product delivery, your product is making a lot of impact in the organization, the people you work with feels influenced by you, they get developed as a part of working with you. That kind of thing create your leadership demonstration and probably help you to go to the next level. And that's what I observe. People who go to the next levels demonstrate these kind of leadership skills. Now, having said that, what can I do myself? I understand this all is confusing. Is there any certification, learning, or a training or education program I can focus on? So I would say focus on soft skills like coaching. That you can even go through a program also, guided program, which can help you in improving your coaching skills. Focus on skills like public speaking. You can join some groups or facilitated programs to develop your say public speaking skills. The third area is master the art of influencing and conversation. So focus on how do you speak, how do you take feedback, how do you give feedback, and how do you contribute to your people so that they grow and they probably make you grow as well. Yeah, that's my take. You probably need to do your context study and take it to the next level. Okay, so hi Murli, hi Sosh. Okay, we have a question. In the career progression, what comes next to the Scrum Master? So as I said, the role of a Scrum Master nowadays varies, and it depends upon what are the other skills you are developing other than Scrum Master. If you are pure limited to the Scrum Master skills, then the possible thing which you can target next is either release train engineer, where you facilitate multiple agile teams, or agile coach path, where you are into the process of facilitating agile adoption. You facilitate, train, educate people so that they are ready for agile adoption. But in general, the other part which you are involved in, so say as a Scrum Master, I'm also involved in project management, then my next path could be running from delivery management role rather than Scrum role alone. I may not care I'm using Scrum, Kanban, Scaled Agile, Waterfall, whatever. I may only focus on delivering value. So that could be a delivery management role rather than a Scrum Master role alone, and that can take you to the further next level. Yeah? Because you are helping the organization to earn money. They always want to have people who can help them in growing and earning money. So that's a possibility. So you can say release train engineer, project manager, agile coach. These all are possible paths which may come out of a Scrum Master role, or working in a more complicated, complex solutions as a Scrum Master alone. That's also a growth. Yeah, Scrum Master could be one Scrum Master might be helping a small initiative to run. Another Scrum Master might be running a critical, complex initiative which will provide the organization next revenue stream. So you could be growing yourself by managing more complicated solutions as well. So growth of a Scrum Master can happen as a Scrum Master also. It can happen as other designations as well. And I think that's pretty much related to our previous conversation as well, because the exact path is gray as soon as you cross the middle management level. You may see a path little clearly till you stuck till you reach at a middle management level, and then it becomes a little stuckness, and the next level depends upon how we lead, how do we influence, how do we network, and how we grow our people, and how do we add more and more value to our organization. Okay, some tips for improving the facilitation skills. So the idea here is some amount of emotional intelligence and listening skills. That's an essential part of facilitation, because my core belief in a facilitation is that I want people to talk, I want people to collaborate, brainstorm, so that they can come to the conclusion. So ability to hold yourself from giving suggestions, guiding people, telling them the direction. So that's a kind of a belief or a soft skill one has to develop. The another kind of tools and techniques, or I would say the concrete skills, I can learn some of the facilitation techniques. Again, just learning facilitation technique without having a mindset of letting people explore and speak may not help. But when I have a decent mindset where I can stay quiet, I can let people explore the idea, on top of that, I can start putting some structure in place. So the goal of facilitation is that I have a starting and ending, whatever interaction, whatever conversation we are doing, having an agenda in mind, having an agreement on the agenda in mind, having a tools to ensure everybody contribute to the agenda, having a decision-making process in mind. And whenever that thing concludes, we should have a clear action item, which are agreed by the group, and we track them as we go along. So if I can make that happen, I'm improving my facilitation skills, and I can practice it on a daily basis. Now, there are some websites which can help you in getting some ideas related to organizing conversations. Yeah, again, you need to find what tool or what style works best for you. In a many agile world, we do like and talk about something called liberating structures. So you can Google it, liberating structures. You can find a website. You can study various structures they provide, and you can play with them on your upcoming sprint planning, retrospective, daily scrum kind of meetings. There are a lot of websites which are primarily focusing on retrospective, like a fun retrospectives and all. You can try them as well. There is a generic website called Gamestorming. You can try that. It can gives you some of the ideas. So ability to hold yourself for a while and letting people talk, ability to listen, ability to summarize. So more all soft skills and conversation skills. Along with that, applying some tools and technique to make the structure. Learning some digital tools like Jamboard, Miro, Zoom, putting a breakout rooms, creating the poll, that all is also a great idea. WhatsApp groups, polls. So how do I engage people digitally? So along with those liberating structures and all, you can do a little bit of digital tool study as well. So learning about the tools, learning about tools and technique, I believe personally is a little easy thing. But after that, I need to practice the engagement and collaboration and summarization and active listening. That may take little practice. If you want to go for a formal program, we do have a IC Agile ATF program, which we run. So you can enroll to it. That can give you some ready-made information about designing your various Scrum meetings. But after that, you need to apply these things into practice. Okay. So Scrum Master, do I need to master other Agile framework as well? So it depends. What is the meaning of Scrum Master? If you tend to be a pure Scrum Master who will always work in a Scrum, and you see that there is an opportunity for you in the organization where they always follow Scrum, then you don't need anything else. You just focus on Scrum, learning more advanced Scrum, and you are committed to it. But if you are working in the environment where things keeps changing, there could be a environment or initiative where time boxing may not be possible. Time boxing may create unnecessary issues. You are also expected to facilitate and collaborate with the people who might be working on milestone basis and say waterfallish basis. So it depends upon what is my area of influence. If I am very limited to a one small team which is following Scrum, I think I can keep facilitating them just based on the Scrum. But as soon as I start interacting with the outside world out of my team, and some of those outside worlds are working in a different context, as we learn, Scrum is a great framework for complex systems, complex solutions. And that's why it works in a sprinting way, iterative way. You work in a time boxed manner. But there are areas where you are not working in a complex systems. You might be working in a chaotic system. You might be working in a defined system. So you probably need to do things differently. So if I have a variety of work to work with, I definitely need to know how those variety of works. Now, what could be that list? It's difficult to have a defined list, but in general, in the industry, the Kanban comes very close to say organizations, and they end up applying Kanban at various levels in order to get their work moving, flow-based work moving. So knowing Kanban is a great idea. That's a first recommendation I can give after Scrum. Scaled Agile, it depends. If you have an organization which is going for a Scaled Agile implementation, then you definitely need to know. So Scaled Agile is either like there will be a situation where you must have it, or there could be a situation where you can avoid it. Yeah. So it is because it's a specific way of working. So Kanban is again a very generic open idea. You can start sometime, you can apply somewhere and may not use it next time. But Scaled Agile, either your organization will be using in a big bang or they will not be using it. So if you see my current organization or future organization is using SAFe, then I need to learn that. But if you have a good idea of Scrum and Kanban, then 70-80% of SAFe is already done for you, because they just have a particular way of using Scrum and Kanban idea in a large scale. So these three things you can do, and then project management, depending upon if you end up working with the external environment, stakeholder, vendors, then you probably need a project management also. Now, this all, does it need for a Scrum Master? Definitely not. Yeah, it is not a title Scrum Master who needs it. Is this all might need to a delivery leader, to a delivery facilitator. So if you want to become a delivery leader who may go into various areas and get the delivery done, then only these things are needed. If you just want to be a Scrum Master, then you just remain attached to the Scrum. That's my way of looking at it. So probably a decision, if your organization has good Scrum scope, then probably you may want to just be a Scrum Master. Okay, so how to achieve Agile Coach plus Product Owner path from the Scrum Master? So probably you need to take one, because both the path has their own demands. So say my path will emerge from my current job. Yeah, I am working as a delivery lead, delivery facilitator. People call me Scrum Master. That could be I take it. Now, if I want to do something else, I use my current opportunity working as a delivery facilitator, Scrum Master, or whatever word works, to develop the skills which are needed for the next level. So if I am working in a Scrum Master space, I definitely coaching, mentoring, leading people, helping them to learn something new, always running some sessions, educating them on various advanced way of working with Scrum or Agile. And those all skills helps me doing some periodic assessment, doing very creative, focused, retrospective meetings, working with various type of teaming activity or team assessment like Spotify team assessment, or other type of developing those kind of team assessment, working with other Scrum Master as a Agile community of practice or Scrum Masters community of practice. I apply all this, and that helps me in growing as a Agile coach. Definitely in parallel, I can also get a little theoretical understanding of what is expected from an Agile coach. And for that, I see Agile ACC program is a great thing. But on top of that, I need to apply the seed of my future role in my current job. Yeah, that's a Agile coach thing. Now, for a product owner also, the same thing. See, the idea of a product owner is I facilitate my people and the business to have a common understanding. So we understand what we are trying to develop, and we research, we find out what is the right thing to work on. So researching about the right requirement by way of talking to the people, by way of benchmarking, by way of observing, by way of doing problem analysis from the previous results, doing continuous validation of our previous hypotheses and ideas, working closely with the people and understanding what they are picking up in the demonstration, and then putting all those things into an incremental development manner by way of creating stories or something else. And then we facilitate the development so that product can create an impact, and we can get an early feedback, and we can deliver things early. That's a product owner thing. Yeah. Now, if I want to develop this, I need to do something out of it. Yeah? So if I do something out of it, I learn, I learning is that I can do certified Scrum product owner or something, which is a basic educational part of it, but I start involving myself in those areas. So my recommendation is it depends upon your interest as well as opportunity at hand. One thing is that getting certifications and theory, which is definitely shows your interest. But the second thing is you also need to have at least 30, 40, 50% opportunities of applying those ideas so that you makes yourself ready for the 100% next role and see what kind of opportunities can be created out of your current profile. Yeah. So learning as well as creating the next job opportunities task in our current profile helps you in taking yourself to the next level. That's my way of looking at it. You can definitely customize what works for you, but this is what I can say here. So to become an SPC and a trainer, I have to study the implementing SAFe certification. I need to complete all SAFe training, SAFe for teams, POPM, SAFe Scrum Master, SAFe Advanced Scrum Master, SAFe LPM, etc. Answer is definitely no. In order to become a SAFe program or a practice consultant, the new name is SAFe Practice Consultant, which is known as SPC. You just need to do a one program, which is an implementing SAFe. So it's a 4 days program. You do it, you pass it, and after that you are authorized to train around 14, 15 programs next day. Yeah, there is a small process around it, small process. They call it enablement. So that's the online process. Once you become SPC, you will get a process where you can watch some set of videos where they brief you how should you present this particular content, like SAFe for team, SAFe for advanced Scrum Master, or SAFe for leading SAFe. They teach you with the help of a pre-recorded video. They ask you to go through a test. So you take a test yourself inside your SAFe login. They call it SAFe Studio. And once you enable yourself, you are ready to give that training. Yeah, so you do your SPC. After that, you pick up your one product, you go through the content, take the practice test, no additional fee from a Scaled Agile. It's an online platform for you. You get enabled, you take the next one, you take the next one, you take the next one. That's it. Okay, so according to you, what is the must-have skills Scrum Master should have? I have no specific opinion because see, the idea of Scrum Master varies from one organization to another organization. But what I can say is, what do I see organization asking? Because my opinion may not matter. What matter is if you are targeting a particular word, what you will see in the job profile, what they will ask for it. So I say the basic assumption, and people don't ask it anymore, that person who is doing or applying for a Scrum Master is knowing Scrum. Yeah, so basic knowledge and complete understanding of Scrum, explaining Scrum well, the whole ideas of various meetings, why do we do them, is usually asked as a first priority. The second thing which you will commonly see in various job profile is ability to facilitate. Yeah. So there is a common understanding where various events of Agile and Scrum are either not done, or if they are done, they don't produce a desired result. I have been talking to many organizations. Hardly I find any organization doing retrospective. In the recent time, I work with many organizations and they do sprint planning. Some of them, they do sprint review partially. Retrospective, as of now, is again hidden practice. So they will expect the people that can you really ensure feedback? Yeah. So ensuring feedback cannot happen till the time you have a better reviews and better retrospective. So organization will look for how do you run whole those events well and ensuring the feedback. The third thing which people usually ask is team development, ability to create a self-organizing team, and ability to make them focused on the quality work. Yeah, so these kind of stuff will come. And additionally, many organizations will ask ability to show transparency in a digital world. Yeah, so virtual way of working, fluency with the tools, ability to influence people to adhere to the tools, having some good amount of ground rules. These kind of stuff you will see. Now, any leader should have a good soft skills. That's the only thing. It's a hidden thing. May not get tested in the interview very, very clearly. But I would say any delivery leader, you call it Scrum Master, you can call it product owner or a project manager. If I have to choose one skills, ability to work with people, the stakeholder as well as team member, that usually defines the success. But the organization may evaluate with other parameters. But ultimately, I believe working with the people plays a very, very critical role. So we do offer, does Eisenbridge offer a training or coaching? Yeah, we do offer training or training on coaching. Yeah, we do have IC Agile ACC program, which is like a basic certification program for anyone who wants to get into Agile coaching. We do that very frequently. I personally teach that. So I do run ICP ACC program. The IC Agile also has a program for coaching Agile transformation. Many of the coaches are involved in change management and leading the change. So we run that program. It's again a 21 days program I teach personally. That's another coaching program we run. So that's a two Agile coaching space. We also run the International Coach Federation Pure Coaching Program, which is known as ICF program. We run ICF ACC. We have a trainer, Karen, and she is like a very senior and very skilled coach to work on that particular program, and she conducts that particular program pretty frequently. So these are the three, I would say, the coaching oriented or coach heavy program. And we do other programs also which are into like CSPSM also has some amount of coaching. Advanced Scrum Master also has some amount of coaching and facilitation, but they are done in the context of Scrum. So there are minor coaching word or coaching influence program, but this one is pretty much clear cut coaching certifications and training program. Okay, so I have worked as a test manager and current role is an E2E architect. Can I move to the role of a project manager by doing PMP in future? Definitely, why not? So I have many customers who are coming from test background, process background, quality assurance background rather than quality control alone, and they get into the project management. So the whole idea of project management is ability to make people agree on something, handling people, and using tool structures to ensure that we have a common understanding of the problems. Yeah, that's the general thing. For a Scrum Master also it is, for a project manager it is little at a higher scale, and it involves more complex stakeholder engagement. Now, how do I grow there? My usual recommendation, which is also followed in our previous conversation as well, I need to get educated and I need to get skilled and I need to demonstrate that skill. So, education, skills, and demonstration, these three things will take me forward. Now, I need to start from somewhere. If I can't demonstrate it as of now, I can start from education. But I need to be clear, just education will not be enough. But I start from somewhere. So going for a PMP certification is definitely a great idea. And when I am doing PMP certification study, or along with that, I need to bring those studies and theories in my practice. So say when I talk about risk management, I start doing some amount of risk management and visualization of risk in my current projects. When I talk about developing team, doing team assessment, communicating, creating team charter, I apply these of the ideas in my project work or whatever the area of influence I have, maybe a small agile or a testing team alone. So I start practicing some of the tools and techniques and the ideas which I'm learning in PMP, and we provide you enough detail in our PMP class so that it is just not a theory, you can start applying them. Now, with these two, then you start looking for some opportunities inside your organization to demonstrate those skills so that you can showcase them and get a proper role of a project manager over a period of time inside your current organization or some future organizations. So education is a good, skill building is a good, and then having some demonstration experience is something which will take you next. So can we share the program links? We will definitely share the program link. ICFACC, that's the name. Yeah, that's something we'll put. Yeah, so we'll share in a chat. Okay, my team struggles more with the technical depth. Please help. How can I explain them what it is, and in general, simple examples so my team understand it easily. So my role as a Scrum Master is showing them the mirror. Yeah, and they can find out the problem when they can see the problem. Yeah. So what is the problem? We should start from there. forget about a term technical debt or something, what kind of a problem my team is suffering from. Yeah. Now, team might be suffering from difficulty in predicting how much time a particular thing will take. Team might be suffering from small thing takes long time to fix. Yeah. Team might be suffering from that we do a change at a one place and other place also get impacted. So we have too much unpredictability in the system, and we find that things are going out of hand. Yeah. And that is something required to be taken care. So if I can work with a team and all of us have a common understanding of such kind of problems, we know that this is going somewhere outside. Now, what should we do about it? We collaboratively need to find out what are the reasons about it. If you see that reason, now here I'm using assumption. If you see the reasons are technical debt, which means you have taken lots of shortcuts, you have taken poor design, you have done a lot of repetition of the code. The same code which could have been done at a one place and can be called at multiple place has been replicated at multiple areas, and you don't have a clear structure, naming convention, and the education about the work. Yeah, that's technical debt. If you don't have to use the word, but if that's the case, we need to handle that. Yeah, we need to identify a cleaning of our code. Maybe you don't have to use a word technical debt, cleaning of your code. Now, if you just want to theoretically understand technical debt, the idea here is it's like a shortcut, a poor design we are doing in order to get something fast. But if we keep taking shortcuts and we end up accumulating lots of shortcuts and lots of poor design, then things will become difficult to work in future. So I need to quantify my shortcuts so that I can fix it. So say you are about to give a demo, there was a problem. Ideally, the problem should have been done properly fixed, but you just fixed it in a UI level. And then you created a task that we need to fix it end to end. That's the technical debt removal task. So you took a technical debt by taking a shortcut, but you are doing a task which is a removal task or a refactoring task, which is or a backlog item which you put into a product backlog so that it get handled at some point in time. Yeah. So my personal approach is not to get carried away with A or B, but focus on clear fact-oriented problem statement, agreement on the problem statement, and then jointly working with the team to find out the solution around it. Yeah. Okay, any tips on how to encourage discipline and change habits of a difficult team? So the idea here is what is the problem out of the current habits? Yeah. And not problem to you. Yeah. Problem to the team. And if the team has no problem, then you have a problem. Yeah, you have a problem. So say I can do whatever I want and I don't care about it, then difficult. I think that required a special attention. But you have like just a simple thing. You have all agreed that let's come at 9 o'clock and have a meeting, and people don't come at a 9 o'clock and they don't care. Yeah, and you can't do anything about it. Then we have a issue. Yeah, then I think it requires some special treatment rather than any generic thing. Now, if you have an influence where you can convert this into a team problem, okay, since we had no meeting at 9 o'clock, 50% people are aware what we are expected to do today, 50% people are not aware. And they are asking questions to each other during that time, and that is creating irritation for everyone. Then we have a team problem. And if I can make that team problem very clear that, guys, since we don't follow our agreed upon rules, not enforced rules by someone else, our agreed upon rules, and those agreed upon rules were created for our own benefit. Since we don't follow it, we don't have a output coming in. So that is something has to be made it very clear. Without reaching to that stage, I think it will be difficult to create a better team. So identify the problem which relates to the team members rather than you. Make them see that particular problem very carefully, clearly. Also see the consequences of those problems if this problem prolonged. Yeah. And once the consequences are clearly understood, once the problems are clearly understood, then there is a high probability that at least some of the team members want to solve it. If nobody wants to solve it after that, then you have a cultural issue and probably nothing will work in that particular organization. But 99% of the time, people will definitely look into the solution. Okay, so which PMO certification is good for the career growth and in-depth knowledge area? So I don't have many certification knowledge. We are too much stick to PMP certification. I know they have an initial set of certification, they call it CAPM. But usually if you have 3-4 years of experience, I would recommend you go for PMP, at least learn the PMP content. And that should be good for your overall project management, program management office. That's what I can see here. If you want to start slow, and if you see that in your organization Scrum and Agile is getting used, then you may want to learn Scrum as well by way of doing Certified Scrum Master or any other program. So that's another possibility of doing CSM. Now, there could be other PMOs and project management certifications, but since we have a limited view that we can see, yeah. We had a comment that personal management is a good idea. Great, yeah. Personal engagement is great idea. Why is that you do not train the SPC for Eisenbridge? The the each certification body has their own style of working, yeah, and they have authorized people to do A thing, authorized people to do B thing, yeah, like that. As you understand the certification and all, in case of scaled agile way of working, they require person to be SPCT in order to become an SPC trainer. So I am not SPCT, that's why I don't do an SPC training. Yeah. Now, why I'm not SPCT? Because I don't see that much focus or investment in a one framework alone. My personal style is I remain engaged with multiple frameworks and multiple approach rather than I put too much focus on one approach alone. Yeah, so that's the reason I have no idea or future vision also to get into pure one directional view and become an expert in that only and then start teaching SPC. But if you go through our programs, yeah, if you have any challenge, any clarification needed after our training program, that's the differentiator with us. If you go through us, we definitely take you to the SPCT and a partner, but we remain engaged. And if something is not clear, based on my knowledge, I'm not authorized guy, but I can explain the ideas of SAFE to you in a one-on-one basis. Yeah. Okay, so what is the benefit, if any, of the SAFE for government training for software development companies where the main client is the federal government? Probably they can get a better empathy about how government work. Yeah, that's the thing. And many of the governments might be using some level of SAFE way of working, so they can get it ready for it. Personally, I have never taught the SAFE for government myself, but I know some of the people, especially in North America, who have been running SAFE for government because their clients were federal governments. Yeah, so that could be a situation. Okay, so CSPO or PSPO, which is better? Please advise. So I say no preference here. They have a different style of evaluating. So the idea of CSPO is the training and the trainer, authorized trainer is must. In case of CSPO, it's a Scrum Alliance program. Scrum Alliance has relatively more visibility, especially when it comes to US and India market, relatively more. But nowadays, PSPO is also maybe a little bit behind, but it's fairly visible. So if you think that you want to get guided session by the trainer, you want to learn something, and then you have an easy label certificate, you get it with the help of Scrum Alliance CSPO. But if you feel that, okay, I don't want to spend money, I don't want to learn from the trainer, I have all the ideas, I can do my self preparation also, or I want to get to the trainer, but I do want to do my self preparation more, then PSPO is a good idea. Anyone can go and give that certificate. You can prepare yourself as well. You can buy the scrum.org key and get certified. In general, whatever is your target job, see what kind of certificates are visible. I probably see that if you are looking for a product owner job, 10 jobs, maybe yes, 7, 8, you will see CSPO. And out of 7, 8, 5 may also have a PSPO as a slash there. There are people who go for PSPO because they also want to have a less engagement after certification. They say, once I have done it, I just want to be there all the time. So there are renewal process. The Scrum Alliance renewal process is an engaged process. They want you to remain engaged, and that's why they have a fee and other things attached. Whereas a scrum.org renewal process is not connected. You can say there is no renewal process for it. You are certified, you are certified. So see what your organization prefer, what is your individual style, and you do it. In general, the future path, yeah, especially if someone wants to go into coaching and mentoring space, yeah, at some point in time, the Scrum Alliance has a relatively more future certification paths, which can help one to earn as well as brand themselves a little bit more coach and mentor compared to the scrum.org. Yeah. So overall view you can take, and if you are working in a safe environment, then you can also consider a safe POPM. So that could be another thing you can add, because if you are working in a safe context, then maybe you just want to do safe POPM. Okay, so great. Yeah, there are some difficult teams feedbacks coming in. Yeah, Rashmi also has a suggestion here. Great, thank you that you can do a team building, make people work and connect with each other, and then explain the purpose, and then probably they will work. Yeah, great ideas. And it depends upon what kind of problem one is facing. But yeah, great suggestions. We had another idea also before. Good. So this is where we are, I think, for our today's session. If you have something more to talk, yeah, please let us know. Drop your message. I pause for a while in your chat box, be it a LinkedIn or YouTube. Next week, we will do PMP session, because we do all the weeks PMP sessions, which are more focused on a topic. But once in a month, the last Friday of the month, we do generic query. That's the new style we are following until we change this style. So as of now, this is the style for another month at least.
So let me take the opportunity here. We have pause from, visitor side. So just I wanted to, discuss about the ICP CAT. So earlier it was transition, now it's transformation. So I think there are some amount of changes happened in the course. So can you put some light on this topic?
Yeah. So ICP CAT program, the IC Agile introduced a new version around 1 year ago, but now from 1st August, everybody must comply to the new version. So if you are doing IC Agile CAT program after 1st August, the program has to comply to a new format. Now, what is this new format? Any provider, including us, we have already moved to the new format. Now, this new format is a 21 hours program rather than a 14 hours program. So it's a little more. And the content is also focusing on the leadership coaching and cultural intervention. So now the ICP CAT program focuses on that one. As an enterprise coach, you should know how to assess the enterprise or organization culture by playing various models and doing cultural assessment, and also working with the leader as a trusted advisor and coach in order to get the desired cultural support in order to achieve the coaching or in order to achieve the transformation. Many of you who might be learning and reading about various agile transformation reports, there is a version 1 which is called a state of agile report, keeps coming in, and many agile transformation report tells the major block of the agile transformation is the cultural elements. So now the ICP CAT program, because it is meant for transformation and it is meant for the coaches who will guide and lead the transformation, they believe the learning objective should spend good time on cultural aspects. So good focus on culture has been added. Good focus on leadership advising and mentoring or a coaching has been added. In order to get a feel of coaching, unlike our previous CAT, now this new CAT program also has a coaching element. So which means ideally one should have done ICP ACC program before, but there are people who may directly come to this program. So now the 3 days format is also more suitable for people who are directly coming to ICP CAT program, because inside this program they have added a module for learning professional coaching as well, which was in the earlier case either you have done it before or you probably don't get what we are trying to explain. So culture, leadership, and the professional coaching. These are the three elements which got added. And then the usual thing, which is the core content of this particular program, is understanding the various change and transformation model at an individual level as well as at an organization level, and using those change and transformation model to come up with a roadmap for the change, proposing a change strategy for a given case study. That core part was there before, and that core part remains as it is. In general, in our classes, we believe that by the end of a class, you should have a presentation, a default presentation, which tells about a one change strategy for your own context. So we work with you partly in the class, then there is a homework, and we put it as a criteria for our certification readiness as well, so that everyone go out at least with one transformation study. Yeah, so this is same, and there are new things which help us in making ICP-CAT better. I believe now it should be more valuable for the participants than before. Yeah, because in the before format, good amount of pre-learning or understanding was assumed. Yeah, so that's the ICP-CAT from our side.
Thank you.
Perfect. Great. So we move forward with this. I think maybe a little bit briefing about what we do and what kind of programs are coming in next week, a little bit, especially the program which I am facilitating. So we keep facilitating SAFE program, as many of you may know, and we do have a lot of videos on SAFE on our YouTube channel. So if you are learning SAFE, probably you want to check our videos. That's something is a default recommendation I would give. I am running leading SAFE class, maybe starting tomorrow only. So it's a 3 days format. We usually run leading SAFE class in a 3 days format rather than 2, because it gives you time to digest some of the content, and we give you a lot of video content so that you can get ready even before the class for the whole leading SAFE idea. So that's an upcoming class which is starting tomorrow. In an upcoming week, I'm doing one more SAFE class. We call it SAFE POPM, Product Owner, Product Manager role. So it's a specific way of doing the agile product delivery, exploring incremental requirement, developing them in a cadence, and getting them shipped to the customers. So maintaining the fast delivery cycle. So for that, the SAFE has a particular role called Product Owner and Product Manager. So for those roles, there is a specific certificate which helps you in learning what is feature, what is user story, how the product owner get ready for the PI planning meeting, how the product owner facilitate incremental delivery of things every iteration, how product owner collect feedback at a team level, at a stakeholder level, at a whole agile release train level, how they work with the product management in order to get the overall vision delivered. So that's a particular program. Now this time, this program, we are running as a weekdays program, which will start depending upon in which country you are. In India, it starts on Tuesday. In US, it starts on Monday evening. So that's the 4 days program, 3.5 to 4 hours. The schedule time is 4 hours. And this is something which can run for 4 days and get you ready for SAFE POPM class. So these are the two things which I'm doing immediately now. In case some of you wish to have a better understanding of SAFE, you can attend it. Now, some of you were looking for SAFE SAFE practice consultant, SPC class. My recommendation is, yes, it's a little more investment. Yeah, you need to be very clear that I want to get into training, coaching, and consulting of SAFE. But many times it might be advisable to have a feeling of SAFE. And before you commit to it, you put that much money and time into it. So a good feeling program could be a leading SAFE. So in general, it's not mandatory, but if you do it, it's a good idea. If you do implementing SAFE at any point in time, you end up recapping the whole leading SAFE content, because the first 2 days of implementing SAFE content is a leading SAFE content only. But it could be your MVP for doing your SAFE investment, because I was working and talking to one of the agile coach, and he says, after going through leading SAFE, I realized this is not something I can teach. Yeah. So I don't want to become a SAFE program consultant anymore, because I believe I won't be able to add effective content and value, because it looks too complicated to me. Again, I'm not saying it's complicated, but it looks complicated to someone. So such kind of things, such kind of decision making can happen if you take the MVP approach and do a one small program from SAFE, and leading SAFE is the great program to do. Great. So this is like a briefing about our upcoming programs. I just spoke about two. Later on, we have many. We do PMP and CAT and all those ICP CAT. Probably we'll talk sometime and stay connected. We do run Instagram channel. We do have Eisenbridge Official as a channel. We do post small videos there. So if you are on Instagram, why don't you follow us? So it's just like Eisenbridge Official. That's the Instagram handler, and that can also give you an opportunity to put your questions on a more real-time basis, and we can probably end up making small reel for your question if it qualify for that content. Else we'll just reply you in the message alone. So do follow us on Instagram. Looks like that's a good channel. We just started investing in that channel recently, but other than that, we are definitely on YouTube and LinkedIn. So I think good to close.
Great. Thank you very much for taking our time for this session, and thank you, participants, for asking wonderful questions. This session will be definitely helpful for the people who ask the question and the people who are just listening the session. So thank you very much. I'll be back again with Saket Bansal on August. Let me just quickly check my calendar and share the dates with you. So yeah, 25th of August. So I'll be back with Saket on 25th of August, and I've shared the email address and the WhatsApp number. If you have more queries, please feel free to drop us queries. We'll be very happy to help you, assist you during your journey. And we have one more coach session, this kind of webinar on 2nd of August with the Karen Boren. Okay, I'll drop the link of that session as well here. The people who wants to join and wants to know more about what is coaching and how coaching is helping people, professional, and how coaching can, increase your leadership skills. So please do join us, and yeah, let's explore together. So bye for now. Take care of yourself.